This video, man, it's going to land for some of you, and several of you are just going to click right off. No hard feelings. But that being said, YouTube is absolutely killing me in 2026. Now, I want to give a small disclaimer. YouTube, I've been kind of, I guess you could say, uploading content not regularly, but since 2016. Now, I say not regularly because that's a little bit of a downside and a fault on my end, but it's my own choosing. Now, all that to be said, YouTube has unlocked so many doors over the past decade. And let me kind of explain. Whether it's the relationships that have been made, so just the random people that I kind of meet or have met over the years, or really, some of us would say maybe some of the affiliate money, but I just want to give a small disclaimer. Over those 10 years of having affiliates, having, ad revenue, you could say maybe I've made a couple of grand. So a total net negative when it comes to the time invested versus the actual profits that were taken from it. But where there's a side that you really can't put a dollar sign on would be because of some YouTube videos that I made in regards to Lumix cameras, and it was literally just of being a fanboy. It opened the window of opportunity for me to become part of the Lumix Creators Backstage program. So in a nutshell, I got kind of in the Lumix circle where they were interested in my feedback in regards to their cameras, and were very interested in what I had to say on YouTube and other platforms about the actual product. So now a lot of my cameras that I actually use, I would say ever since I bought a little bit of background, GH4, I have a GH5 in a backpack. I've got other G7s. I've got S5. This was the actual last Lumix camera I purchased. Since then, Lumix has sent me a Lumix GH7, a Lumix S1 Mark II, a Lumix S5 2X. I have been absolutely thrilled with those cameras, and even if they weren't sent to me and I had got them in my hands, whether I purchased them myself or through gigs, I would be blown away. But all that to be said, that is one huge upside of YouTube. Is because of YouTube, I was able to get my foot in the door with Lumix. Now that has made my world in regards to camera gear and my business operation, it's really helped me because there were times where I was making so little money that when those cameras came in, it was such a nice addition to maybe if I had 3 cameras but really needed to upgrade my third camera, my C camera, and then boom, that new Lumix camera came in and the shift happens. My A cam goes to B, B cam goes to C, and then that new camera goes to A cam. Now all that to be said, why is YouTube killing me? 6,500 subscribers. Man, when I put a video out these days, I get like 500 views. And I'm not here to complain because those 500 people, I value that way more than I would 100,000 people that have zero interest in what they're seeing. So YouTube as a whole has still provided a platform where I can kind of just give my honest feedback, give my opinion, and kind of just hope that some of you one day will stumble across my content and you will find it relevant and useful in your kind of journey in regards to maybe it's just hobbyist, maybe it's for career path. But I think what's going to end up happening, particularly with YouTube, and as it keeps beating a lot of us down, because the honest conversation I think you have to have with yourself is YouTube wants shows. I don't think YouTube wants, they want the educational stuff, but they want regularity, they want it to be high end. And yeah, it needs to almost be a show format. And in reality, I actually think they want live content, which can be a great thing, right? You could actually do the go the live route and really, boom, once you're done, you're done. There's no editing, there's no nothing. It is just voila, that product is out into the ether and everyone can do what they want with it. But if you're like myself, I'm just really trying to add value and tell stories. And so I'm really just having this conversation to say, while YouTube is killing me, my strategy moving forward is to not change at all. I want to keep making these random videos that are teaching people. I think here in the near future, I'm going to be doing a podcast with a YouTuber I've been following for years. He and I have just been exchanging YouTube comments, and he hit me up recently and said, let's do a podcast. So that'll be something else. It will go on my YouTube channel. And I think the upside of something like that, or the strategy that I want to take, is I'm not ever trying to make this particularly what will pay my bills. I pay my bills from offering video services and actually making YouTube content for other people. I don't know why, but I feel like if I ever wanted to make this my full-time job, it would really beat me down. It would get discouraging, and I don't think I would find the passion. But where I do find the passion is doing it for others and obviously reaping the rewards that come with it as far as payments. So it's kind of fun. I get to dabble in this weird YouTube space where I don't give a fart. I do whatever I want, and I just use it as a platform to just say, hey, this is Trey Lowell, this is Lowell Productions, this is what I do, this is what I like to do, this is how I do it, and if maybe you want to make a living doing this, here is just a glimpse into a one-man operation that teams up with others, and we make content of all shapes and sizes, budgets from as low as $500 all the way up to $30,000, and hopefully in the near future even more. But all that be said, I'm so grateful for YouTube, but if you're like myself and you're out there and you're putting content into the ether and you're just like, man, this is not getting what I'd like, I would not hone in on the views so much. I would hone in on using it as like a fail, getting used to failing over and over and over, but also simultaneously getting to educate yourself, you know, learning cameras better, maybe even a video like this where there's very little editing, and really it's just more of like honing my skills on talking to camera off the cuff without a script. Or, you know, I'm shooting in OpenGate 6K, so it's giving me another opportunity to experiment with a different video format and what it looks like and what I'll end up doing with it, because I imagine this video will it'll go on YouTube, but maybe I'll cut one or two clips for Instagram, and I'll experiment with how that OpenGate looks for, you know, vertical. Or another thing, we're shooting in log, so I'll be able to experiment with color grading, particularly in this environment. How does the red look? Does the blue look good? Does it make me pop off the screen? So you're probably like, geez, Louise, this guy's rambling, but my point that I'm trying to get to is, for my statement of YouTube killing me, YouTube over and over offers me this platform to hone my skills, have some communication with you guys, share some experiences. And overall, honestly, like, I use it more as like a mirror for myself, where I can go back and I can look at where I was years ago, and what I was up to and how my products looked versus now, and simultaneously, you know, I can use it as a way to communicate with others and see kind of like what their temperature is on the kind of work that I'm offering. Does that make sense to them? Do they think they could implement it in their workflow? But overall, a ramble session, but I will keep powering forward on YouTube. My only other kind of strategies would be taking every YouTube video, using some form or some piece of that content onto Instagram, and then also I've got to get back in the routine of taking old videos and uploading them to platforms like Rumble and others, because I think it doesn't matter if those are old videos. They've never seen the light of day on Rumble. Why not get them out there, start getting that funnel working? So that'll be something I'll experiment with in 2026. But overall, yeah, YouTube's killing me, but I'm going to keep trying to put out regular content. If any of you are aware, I went on like a 6-month lull last year because work got so busy. And I think that's the other thing. Work makes me my money. Work pays my bills and my mortgage. So YouTube can never be a priority. I have to always be, like I said, it's never going to be in my business plan. It's just a fun little hobby activity that just simultaneously is growing an audience. And hopefully, I wouldn't even say hopefully, I'm not counting on it, but I do think over the years, the compounding interest of just from 6,500 to 6,700 to 8,000 little by little, I've always said it, but I think there's 100,000 people out in the world that resonate with you and I, and I'm trying, I guess, use this platform to slowly introduce myself and get these people to come into my space and see if they can follow along on my journey and take some of those trial and errors and failures and maybe fail themselves, but also simultaneously not feel alone in this weird journey that all of us might be going on when it comes to the videography, cinematography, or small video production space. Last little thing I'll say is, I think with the world of AI, just authentic content, like me talking, me stumbling on my words, trying to be as authentic as possible, no cuts, just straight to camera, there's going to be such a world for that. And I think that was where I touched on the live side of things. Humans are going to really resonate with live stuff. They're not going to want everything to be perfect. And once again, YouTube, just get in front of that camera, start talking, figure out, hey, what do I do with my hands? How does my body movement? Am I doing too many ums? You know, look in the mirror, self-evaluate. YouTube will also tell you. I pronounce Lumix, Lumax way too much. So you guys, some of you think that's hilarious, some of you hate it. But all in all, this is just to say, if YouTube's killing you, it's killing me. Let's stick through it, and it'll be worth it. Nothing good in life ever comes easy, and I swear, I just hit 40 this year. It just more and more becomes true. If you can just get that mindset, life will be a lot better. But I'm also not the best at life either. Peace.